What's up everyone, welcome back to the channel. Guess what, another iPhone 11 Pro comparison. Now, can you guys even tell which one is the 11 Pro? Well, you guys probably already guessed it because the iPhone 10 is my main phone. The iPhone 10 is the one on the left with the white back. The iPhone 11 Pro is the one on the right, as you guys can tell, triple camera setup, all that good stuff. And I think the main question I've been getting, first of all, was like, when are you going to do this comparison, this or that? And I was already going to do it, so it's like, I drop thousands of these comparisons all the time. But here's the interesting thing, if I didn't have this YouTube channel, I'm just going to spoil the whole entire thing right now. I would not upgrade to the 11 Pro if I had an iPhone 10. I think it's a good upgrade. I think you're getting, quite a bit of an update, getting changes, the camera system, battery speed, all that stuff. But I don't know, like, even for me, I have a hard time justifying this purchase, I mean, you can pick up an iPhone 11 Pro right now for like $1,000, not including tax. The iPhone 10 you can find in the used market for around $500, probably even cheaper than that now. So I think the iPhone 10 is definitely the better value per dollar, but the iPhone 11 Pro is the better phone overall. But in this video, I'm going to hit on why I think that and probably prove that to you even more. And I'm going to do speed comparisons, I'm going to do a little bit of a camera test, but I'm going to make a whole separate video hitting on the cameras. So make sure you subscribe to the channel so you guys don't miss that, and kind of go over everything. Now, a lot of people were saying that the screens were better, and even Apple said that themselves, but as far as I can tell, they look almost identical to me. Now, apparently the biggest upgrade for the iPhone 11 Pro screen is the brightness, so apparently it can get brighter because it has more nits, and apparently it can get lower too, apparently, I don't know. But in terms of everything, they're almost identical on the front. iPhone 10 screen protectors can fit on 11 Pro, so that is important to note. Now, in terms of feeling in the hand, of course, the main difference would be the backs. As you guys can tell, not only is the camera system better on the 11 Pro, but also has that frosted white back on the glass. And what I can tell you is, in my opinion, I think the iPhone 10's glass feels more premium than this, but apparently this glass is more durable. So I don't know. You also have the text right here that you don't have on the iPhone 11 Pro. But I don't know. I mean, in my opinion, I would probably rather have this feeling than this feeling. I mean, this one just doesn't feel as good. Of course, it is glass, and I know it's still premium and there's uses for it. This one just has that, more premium feeling to me, but you still have that glass feeling right up here. So I don't know. I think I'll get used to it, but I don't know. It's just, I always felt like this was more premium to me. The iPhone 10 is IP67 dust and water resistant, where the iPhone 11 Pro is IP68 dust and water resistant. So I don't know if this is true or not, but apparently to the specs, you can only go up to 1 meter of water for 30 minutes on the iPhone 10. But apparently on the iPhone 11 Pro, you can go up to 4 meters of water for 30 minutes. But I thought it was only 2 meters, so I don't know. Point being, you can go to more meters of water for 30 minutes on the 11 Pro than on the iPhone 10. And in terms of the feeling, like I already stated, I don't even know if I talked about the chastity, but they feel almost identical. The thickness is almost the same too. They feel almost the same. I want to see, actually I'll try it right now. I have an iPhone 10 smart battery case. I'm curious to see if this actually fits in there. Okay, it's a tighter fit for sure, so if you guys can tell, usually it just slides in, and it seems to be fitting in. That's actually really smart for Apple to do. Apparently they were going to make their own battery case for it, so apparently that seems to be the case. So they restricted it by software, which is so petty of them to do, but I do think if you cut out the cutout on the iPhone 10 case, it'll probably fit, but whatever. Now, in terms of software, I would expect the iPhone 11 Pro to last longer than the iPhone 10, but I don't think it's going to be a completely, I think it's only going to be one upgrade difference. The reason being is because I think the iPhone 10 is going to get 1 extra year of software support. The 11 Pro will probably end at the usual same cycle, so the iPhone 10 will last as long as the iPhone 10s. And the 10s might get an extra year of support to match the 11 Pro, but I don't know. That's kind of what I'm thinking right now. Again, it's kind of early to tell. The iPhone 10 started off at iOS 11.1.1, so it would be kind of weird if it stopped earlier than a lot of other beta updates, but I don't know. Now I'm going to go ahead and run a little bit of a speed comparison between these two. Now the iPhone 10 has the Apple A11 Bionic chip, a hexa-core CPU, and 3 gigs of RAM on all the models. The iPhone 11 Pro, however, has the Apple A13 Bionic chip, a hexa-core CPU, and 4 gigs of RAM on all the models. So more RAM on this model than this one. So let's go ahead and do a little bit of a speed comparison. Let's go ahead and see which one is the faster device between these two. Spoiler alert, I'm already assuming the 11 Pro is going to be the faster device, but you never know. Okay, all the apps are cleared out in the background. Let's go ahead and load up some apps. Let's do Facebook. 3, 2, 1. And as you guys saw, the 11 Pro was actually way faster. That was really, really weird. Let's do SoundCloud. 3, 2, 1. And as you guys can tell, the 11 Pro is noticeably faster than the iPhone 10, and I hope you guys don't see that song. Let's do Netflix. 3, 2, 1. And actually, I think the iPhone 10 was just like a millisecond faster there, not by much though. Quizlet. 3, 2, 1. And on this one, you can tell which one was faster. The 11 Pro, way noticeably faster. And by the way, the 11 Pro is on the right. The iPhone 10 is on the left, in case I didn't mention that earlier. Let's do Dropbox. 3, 2, 1. And again, the 11 Pro is the faster one here again. You know, this is kind of what I'm hoping for. BOFA, 3, 2, 1. And again, I wasn't looking, but one of them was faster than the other one. Thank you, 3, 2, 1. And there we go. I mean, that is a noticeable difference between those two. You know, there's a big difference between that. I'm not saying the iPhone 10 is a completely slow device, but definitely the iPhone 11 is the faster one. Snake versus blocks, 3, 2, 1. And again, the iPhone 11 Pro is the faster one. Let's get into some gameplay. Oh my god, super windy outside. As you can see, they're both almost identical. This isn't that graphically intensive of a game, but I don't know, it seems to be fine. Temple Run, 3, 2, 1. Now I will have to redo both of these because they both were on the thing. Temple Run again, 3, 2, 1. And they both seem almost identical, I would say. Okay, the 11 Pro was like a little bit faster, but not by much. This is kind of a, you know, not that big of a graphically intensive game, so it kind of makes sense. But Fruit Ninja, 3, 2, 1. And you guys can tell we're already into the game on the iPhone 11 Pro, and then on the iPhone 10 we eventually get loaded into it. So pretty impressive, you know, for the 11 Pro to be that much faster. But again, dude, like, it's not even that much faster. Like, I don't even want to hype it up. It might be a little bit faster, but it's not like groundbreaking improvements. Paper Out 2, 3, 2, 1. And that's the thing I've been noticing, even with the 10s versus the iPhone 11 Pro. Very minimal difference, I would say. You know, I didn't really see that big of a change, which is kind of sad because, like, I wanted to see a bigger change because you're spending, you know, that much more money. It's like you should be expecting to get, you know, a better phone, but whatever. Temple Run 2, 3, 2, 1. And the 11 Pro is able to download the content faster and get loaded into the game, where the iPhone 10 is still, you know, loading into it eventually. And then, as you can see, we get into it on the 11 Pro, and then shortly after we're into it on the iPhone 10. Again, not that big of a difference. I mean, I was kind of expecting more of a difference between these two. I mean, there's a 2-year difference between these. So, I don't know, maybe Apple could have done a better job at. Let's go and end it off with Real Racing 3, 3, 2, 1. And you can, and I don't know why, but on the iPhone 10 we got into it faster. They're both on the same version of the software. They're both everything. We're just at different spots, but you know, it should still load at the same time, which doesn't make any sense to me at all. So why is it that on like games like these, on graphically intensive games, the older iPhones can load up these things faster? Now I'll show you guys the benchmark scores I've had on these. The iPhone 10 I had a multi-core score of 250,999. On the iPhone 11 Pro, 457,221. So I don't get it. You know, I felt like it should have been faster on the iPhone 11 Pro every time, but that just doesn't seem to be the case, which I really hate seeing. I think people think I like seeing that. No, I want my newer iPhones to be better than the older ones, but I just don't get it, man, to be honest. So speed test, sometimes it was faster on the 11 Pro, but sometimes it was also faster on the iPhone 10. RAM management should be better on the iPhone 11 Pro because of that extra additional gig of RAM. So I'm going to quickly hit on the cameras, but like I said, I'm going to make a whole different video talking about them. We have a dual camera setup on the iPhone 10, 2 12 megapixel sensors, and 3 cameras setup on the iPhone 11 Pro, which is 3 12 megapixel sensors. So you can do 4K at up to 60 frames per second on both these sensors. The extra sensor on the iPhone 11 Pro is an ultra wide sensor, and I'll show you guys that actually a little bit right now. So on the iPhone 10, as you can tell, when you zoom out, this is pretty much as far as you can go, but you can zoom in, you still have that telephoto lens, so you can do a lot. And I've never complained about this picture quality. I found it to be really, really good. Even like, I guess the 10S is probably better, but this one has been very, very nice to me. I've literally been using it every single day. Sometimes I shoot videos with it, and I find this camera to be way, way super, super good. But this is the iPhone 10's camera. Let's go ahead and see how the iPhone 11 Pro's camera is now. And you can't even tell the difference if I'm being honest. This one just looks a little bit brighter for some reason. But the biggest feature of this new camera is the additional ultra wide sensor. So what you can do now is you can zoom out and you can see my legs and you can see more of that photo, which is super, super awesome. But you can also zoom in still the same. You still have that telephoto lens, as you can see, and it's really, really awesome. And I do like this a lot. is everybody going to use it? I have no idea, maybe, but if you're like a professional photographer, maybe, but like, I think for the average person, taking photos like this is just a little weird. Most of the time, you're going to be zooming in more, which that telephoto lens, is also on the iPhone 10, so. But keep it locked down in the channel so you don't miss that iPhone 10 versus iPhone 11 Pro camera comparison, full one. Now, one of the biggest changes, in my opinion, and probably the main reason why you should go and update to the 11 Pro if you have an iPhone 10, would probably be the battery life, the stock battery life. So on the iPhone 10, you had a 2716 milliamp hour battery on launch. So on launch, that's what it was. Probably right now, it's not like mine's on like 88% battery health, so it's 88% of 2700. This one, however, the 11 Pro has 3190 milliamp hour battery, so 3190 milliamp hour battery, which in my opinion is a crazy awesome battery to put in here. That's like the same size battery on the XS Max. So I literally love that. I love how Apple increased the battery size without really increasing the size too much. They increased, I guess, the length a little bit or the width of it, but not by much. They both have wireless charging, no reverse wireless charging of both these phones. So that's probably my favorite feature of the iPhone 11 Pro. And honestly, to kind of sum up this whole entire comparison, like, you're spending money for a phone that's marginally better in my opinion, okay? Like right now, I would say the 11 Pro is probably twice the price as the iPhone 10 right now. In the used market, a used iPhone 10 is about half the cost of 11 Pro, but you're not getting twice the amount of phone. If the iPhone 11 Pro was a 10 out of 10, which it's not a perfect phone, not by a long shot, but let's say it was, the iPhone 10 is probably like an 8.5 to 9 out of 10. It can do almost everything this phone can do, except that ultra wide angle lens and I guess a little bit of a speed increase in the extra RAM. But ultimately, dude, if you have an iPhone 10, keep it. I think it's not going anywhere. If you don't have either of these phones, I would probably tell you to pick up a used iPhone 10. These are way better values than this is. However, if you have all the money to spend or you have an upgrade on your plan or whatever, pick up an 11 Pro. It doesn't really matter. But for those of you who have an iPhone 6 or LG G3 or whatever the case is, pick up an iPhone 10, a used one. This is still going to get you so far in life. This one still has many more software variants and you probably won't even notice a difference. It's literally a camera upgrade with a bigger battery, but you can always get that smart battery case. That's the one I've been using. It's literally one of the best things I've ever bought. So with that being said, I'll leave a link to a 10S. A used 10S is also a good price too, but I think this is a better value per dollar. But I'll leave links to the cheapest iPhone 10s I find on Amazon, as well as the cheapest 10Ss on Amazon, so you guys can get them down there and help support the channel at the same time. They'll be the first links down there, but that's pretty much it. If you guys have any questions or anything, leave it down in the comment section below. Hit that like button, that would mean so much, but definitely hit that subscribe button. Every single subscriber that we get really does count, so it'll mean so much if you guys could hit that. Also, check out the other links down in the description as well. My Twitter, my Instagram, my second channel. All those links are linked down below. I'd really appreciate it if you guys could check it out. But more importantly than everything else, I love every single one of you guys. And hopefully I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace out till then.